Gal, I can't find anyone that'll say Brisbane can win this premiership without Adam Reynolds.
Yeah, you're probably right there. I probably tend to agree. But look, it's a shame what's happened to Adam Reynolds. He will obviously recover from it in time for the semi-finals, I believe. And you got to take a positive out of every situation. The only positive for him having this time off is he'll be able to get the rest of his body right. We're kidding ourselves if we ever thought Adam Reynolds was going to play the whole season uninjured. He's too old. His body's a little bit brittle. He was going to break at some stage. So the fact that it's happened now, he'll be back probably hopefully a 2 or 3 weeks to go in the competition. They've got to just take that as a positive and allow other players to step up and handle his position. And I still think they've got enough talent in that side to do it. I think Ezra Mam is an absolute gun of a player. I think he can steer them around the park and get them by. I still think they'll finish up in that top 4. Get Adam Reynolds back towards the back end of the year, and you never know what may happen. But I think they've got the talent to be there.
Well, they're going to need that talent to stay there. They're going to need to stay in the race until he gets back. The good news is 14 weeks, which they're saying, gets him back for the finals. That'll be helpful to him. He's vastly experienced, so he's not going to need all the football under his belt once he gets to that stage of the season. Broncos the previous week against the Tigers, I thought it was a very flattering scoreline to them. I thought the Tigers were far better than what the scoreline showed. And other than the freakish ability of Reece Walsh, who can do a couple of crazy things at different times, I didn't think that was too impressive. I tipped the Roosters to beat them. I didn't expect a 40-point scoreline, but that's the way it unfolded. Broncos just aren't knuckling down at the moment. It's all flair or nothing. It's got to be done the pretty way or not at all.
And I spoke to one of their players a few weeks ago, and they addressed that. They said, yeah, we're definitely not playing well, but they're still sort of hanging in there, still inside the top 8. But I agree with it. They're not playing great, but look, they're going to improve. And I think getting Reynolds back the back end of the year will.
Well, they've got more talent. They've got more talent than most of the teams.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure
keeps you in it.
I'm pretty sure Reynolds. I think it's only 9 games he misses. I think there's 3 buys in there that in his time off. So he'll miss 9 or 10 games. He won't miss all 14 games.
Denny, they're taking on an Eels side. Have had the week off. With that comes some peace and quiet. And when you're a coach under the pump, silence is golden, particularly in regards to scuttle about your job. Where does it sit for Brad Arthur ahead of this match?
Well, right now, Brad Arthur's got the support of the club. I mean, they've had an opportunity to come out and say that, yes, they're interested in Wayne Bennett. They haven't come out and sort of chased him. So, yeah, I spoke to Brad today about how he was, and he said he's good. He feels like the club has got his back. Whether he feels like that in 5 weeks' time, let's see what happens. But right now, the club are, they're not desperately looking for somebody at this very moment. And if Parramatta can put some wins together, Brad Arthur can hold on to his job. A lot of it depends on the halfback. When he comes back, Mitchell Moses, and that's vital to them. There's talk that he could be back for Magic Round, which would be good for the club. That's what they were hoping for, if not the week after. But also Gutho is out, so it's a really difficult period for Brad Arthur. And the conversation will start again if they lose a few more about the same voice being heard for year after year. But I rate Brad Arthur as a person, as a coach, and I hope that he gets support from the Parramatta club.